Joined by a very special guest, Beth Mowins, who calls games for both CBS and ESPN. Beth, are you excited for March Madness?
Oh, it's my favorite part of the year, though. The first and second rounds on Thursday and Friday. I remember growing up and playing a little hooky from school, and used to be able to watch like from 11 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock the following morning. So I think those are two of my favorite days of the year, just to watch it all unfold.
We're thrilled to have March Madness coming back on the men's side, March 19th and 21st to Amalie Arena. As you've seen a lot of different games, is there any teams that you're circling on your bracket and starting to fill out and think could have a deep run here come this March?
Well, March is always filled with madness, and it feels like this year the entire season, every month has had its share of madness. I think it's like 7 different teams have been ranked number 1 in the country, and still upsets going on. So I think it's going to be those teams that are hot late in the year. Now I've got my eye on BYU after they just knocked off Gonzaga. I've got my eye on Florida State right up the road here in Tallahassee. I think that's another team that could do some damage come tournament time.
You and I first met back in 2008 when we hosted our very first Women's Final Four. In fact, the first Women's Final Four in the history of the state of Florida. What's it like from your perspective in terms of the evolution of that event? We've been fortunate to host it, for a third time this past April, but it just has grown and grown time over time, and love to get your thoughts.
Well, and it may be coming back, right? So that's exciting news to be on the short list. I think it's a situation where when I was growing up, those were the only games on TV. You'd watch the semis and the finals. They'd be playing on back-to-back days, and that was all you got. And now the growth of the game is so much to the point where it's a tough ticket to get. And there are, 4 different national champions in the last 4 years, and the possibility of Oregon being a 5th different champion in 5 years. So we're seeing a lot of parity. We're seeing the growth of the game nationwide, and it's gotten to the point now where it's just as exciting a trip if you went to the men's Final Four or if you went to the women's Final Four, and just to be a part of all the excitement and the energy that the fans and the teams bring. And certainly when you've got easy people to work with here in Tampa and the lovely weather that time of year, it's the perfect blend.
Yeah, one of the great things I love about Women's Final Four, too, is the social impact around the event. You got so many great things happening in terms of the growth of the game, and then from the charitable standpoint, too. And, the K.Yao Cancer Fund is right at the top of that. I know that's a cause that's near and dear to your heart. I'll never forget the images of Coach Yao on the rickshaw in downtown Tampa, iconic. But love to hear your thoughts in terms of Coach Yao's impact on the sport and what now the K.Yao Cancer Fund has meant to cancer research.
Yeah. Well, we just came off the Play for K game at K.Yao Court in North Carolina State. So it's huge. It's something that we hope one day to keep growing and growing and growing to the point where it's like the Jimmy V on the men's side. The embrace, I think, of Coach Yao and her legacy, and just being universally loved by all the fans, by all the coaches around the country. And so it's such a huge deal to be at NC State for that game, and now to watch just there's pink sneakers in the NBA. There are pink T-shirts on men's sidelines when it's Play for K week. And so it's been fabulous to watch the fan base around the country and all the other teams embrace the pink and embrace Coach Yao and the legacy that she's created.
Coach was a heck of a pioneer, as are you. And I know that's probably weird for somebody to call you that, but you've made such great strides in terms of calling a variety of different sports. You've mentored youth as well. We're fortunate to have you here talking to a lot of local female influencers and CEOs in our business community, rallying around them, and we certainly appreciate that. What's that been like from your standpoint in terms of, talking to the next generation and helping break down some of those barriers?
It's been really exciting, and it's something that, initially when you're working on Monday Night Football or when you're working on the NFL on CBS, you're in your day-to-day, you're in your own moment and your own preparation, and you don't really pay a whole lot of attention to what's happening around you. And then the moment arrives, and you see the impact. There were little girls in the stadium with microphones and ESPN T-shirts saying, "Hey, I got next." There are a lot of young girls now that will come up to me while I'm calling another game and, hey, can I, text you or get some advice, or can I call you? And And so it's really been fabulous to see all the opportunities. You want to open a door, and then you want to fight like crazy to hold that door open. And so provide opportunities for a lot of other young women and young men to be able to, chase their dreams, whatever they are.
Beth, I know you used to live here. You're always going to be an honorary Team Tampa Bay member. We appreciate you joining us today as part of the event as well as the interview.
Oh, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you.